the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly went at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, their bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Hello and welcome back once again here to Turn 3 Racing Network Tuesday night. Restrictor plate action on tap for you. It's the Superior Class Auto Racing League here at Daytona night. These drivers gonna put on one heck of a show. Originally scheduled to head off to Watkins Glen, but some track preparations and construction not finished for these fellas to hit the track this week up there. Instead, they head on down here to Daytona. Excuse me. And you know what that means. We're going to be door to door, nearing 200 miles an hour when these drivers drop down into these corners. There you see it, about 3.5 minutes left before we drop the green flag for qualifying. Little different this week. Qualifying is taking place pre-race instead of the day before or week before, actually, here for the Superior Class Auto Racing League. They typically qualify the week before the race, so the field is set to go once we hit the track. But tonight here at Daytona, they're going to throw it up right before the drop of the green flag. So we'll bring you some great qualifying action here in about 3 more minutes. Want to welcome everybody and thank you for joining us here. I am David Worrell, as always, up here Tuesday nights for you in the booth. Hope you enjoy all the great racing action that we are about to have in store for you tonight. Let's see if there's any activity out there on the track. I believe a couple of cars have rolled out. We'll take a look around, see who we see. I can hear some cars on the track right now as we're not actually focused in on anyone. Just bringing you some great camera views of this great racing facility. If you haven't had a chance to make it to Daytona International Super Speedway, you have got to put that on your bucket list. And I can just tell you this: if you do go, plan on walking, because man, this place is huge. Victory Lane, however, man, winner's circle, bro, I'm telling you, it is something serious. It is absolutely amazing. There you see it off in the shot right there on the right hand side. Man, that trophy is beautiful as well. But there you see the time ticking on down until we head off into qualifying here tonight at Daytona International Super Speedway. Once again, this is Superior Class Auto Racing, presented to you by Mug Root Beer. This is race number 9 in the season for these race car drivers. And man, I can't wait to get this action underway. 1.5 minutes remaining in this little bit of happy hour section, the last little bit of practice to shake these cars down, figure out where you want your steering offsets, ratios, and things of that nature. Get some last little pep talks in from the crew chief. There you see somebody just flying down pit road practicing hot stops, I guess. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, less than a minute now, counting at about 50 seconds before these drivers will strap it in, pull the belts tight, get their elbows up, and try to get every mile an hour absolutely possible out of these tremendous machines. I mean, plate cars are, in my opinion, they are a beast all to themselves. A completely different type of car, setup, dynamics to it. The aero is all different. Spring shocks, packers, everything is specially made for this style of track. And we're going to see who can test their luck here tonight. Who's willing to put it all out on the line? Lay it out for a race win late in the season here for the Superior Class Auto Racing League, presented to you by Mug Root Beer. And I believe we are about to set it off here for qualifying. Yes, we are. There you see the yellow coming out, ending the practice. Qualifying has begun. Let's see if we can find any drivers already out there on track. Looks like possibly the 56 of Will Jones. Looks like he's going to be jumping out on track, so we'll join him as he makes his way around this 2.48 mile track. And there you see Will Jones just now coming off of the pit exit lane all the way back there to the back stretch. It's a little bit of a task to get all the way around there, up to speed, keep it underneath that blend line. But a lot of drivers looking like they're going to go ahead and qualify. The 19 of Chris Mathis is on track. Steve Murdoch, Will Jones, Channing Ballou, Michael Casey, Jeff Napier, Bobby Hamilton Jr., Quentin Murdoch, Mark Truxell, Alan DeFries, all out there on track. Justin Napier also looking like he's beginning his laps. Brian Phelan also beginning his laps. My goodness. I am absolutely running a little bit behind tonight, so a little bit frazzled here at the start. Wrestling practice ran a little bit late for myself, so do apologize to everybody watching. Do apologize to Bobby and the rest of the drivers out here on track tonight. But we'll get it sorted out, worked out, all settle in, and we'll get this thing started. Will Jones crossing the line for his first time lap. Let's see how he's going about things so far he will be the first one across the line, so he's going to slot into that provisional pole position. We'll see if anybody else has a faster first lap than Jones. As of right now, nobody else being able to top it. And I believe Will may be... nope, not shutting it down. Looked like he may be shutting it down there for just a second. But, my eyes have deceived me. Just dropped a little bit there through the corner. Come around through the tri-oval, back to the line, slotted in third right now. Let's see if he can move back up to that first position. Yes, he does, with a 48.829. Oh, my goodness. Jump back here. Looks like Bobby Hamilton Jr. Looks like he's sitting at the edge of pit road down there, so we'll jump on board with somebody else. Looks like the 4 of Case and Plot out there on track. We'll jump on board with him as he makes his way around Daytona International Super Speedway. Your qualifying order as of right now looks a little something like this. Chris Matheson, the 19, taking that pole position away. Mark Truxell slotting into second. Now that position being taken over by Michael Casey. Or Cozy, I'm sorry. Sorry about that, Michael. Looked like that was an A on the screen, but it is not. It is definitely an O. Four of Case and Plot coming through 3 and 4 back through the tri-oval to the line. Let's see where he shakes out. Shuts it down here. Where's he up to? All the way up to third position, so great job by him. Looks like Hunter Kent also finishing his second lap now. See where he ends up shaking out. And no, he's shutting it down as well, up to 7th position. Nobody else out on track just yet. Actually, looks like the 88 of Channing Ballou out there in that National Guard. Dale Jr. paint scheme looking sharp here at Daytona underneath the lights. There you see him cutting it down to that yellow line. Going to cross the line first time by that time, a 49.403. So a little bit of time to be made up if he's going to want to take away that pole position. Just about 2 seconds left. He's not going to have enough time, so that's going to do it for qualifying. Chris Mathis is going to walk away with the pole position here for tonight's race at Daytona International Super Speedway. So as we wait for the cars to hit the grid, we will look down at the pace car for just a moment or two. Let these drivers begin to grid up. There you see them right there. That's going to bring us to this. Your starting lineup for tonight's race. Row number 1, pole position, the 19 of Chris Mathis. To his outside, the 99 of Michael Cozy Jr. Row number 2, the 4 of Case and Plot, and the 5 of Mark Truxell. Row number 3, the 71 of Alan Dufries, and the 56 of Will Jones. Row number 4, the 7 of Hunter Kent, and the 54 of Justin Napier. Row number 5, the 08 of Brian Phelan, and the 40 of Jeff Napier. Row number 6, the 53 of Steve Murdoch, and the 8 of Quentin Murdoch. Row number 7, the 88 of Channing Ballou, and the 17 I am not going to chop your last name up, David. I do apologize. I will get with you sometime, maybe during the race or after, to get that correct. But, David, I'm not going to chop that up. Him and his 17 will be starting outside row number 7. Row number 8, the 46 of David Bradford, and the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. Row number 9, the 52 of Thomas McMullen, and the 86 of Colt Ansley. Row number 10, shotgun on the field tonight, is Brendan Radsley in his 16 machine. That's going to do it for your starting lineup here tonight. Race number 9, the Superior Class Auto Racing, presented to you by Mug Root Beer. Man, oh man, I cannot wait to see what these drivers have in store for us tonight. We fixing to find out. 80 laps here tonight. No stages. These drivers gonna have a tall task at hand if they're gonna want to lead the most laps and walk away with the race win. Pace car lights are off. We are set to go green flag racing once again here Tuesday night. Turn 3 Racing Network. Pace car off, they hit the gas, and they are gone. Green flag racing once again here for the Superior Class Auto Racing. 80 laps at Daytona International Super Speedway. Inside lane is getting the job done right now. Your pole sitter and leader of the race, 19 of Chris Mathis, having no trouble on the start. Outside lane did not get going. And those 3 cars make it 4, 5, now 6 are falling to the wayside. A lot of the drivers are down there on the inside lane. So the inside looks like it may be the place to be this time in point in the race. Outside line now beginning to pick up a little bit of momentum. Side by side, back to the line. Who's going to lead it? Looks like the 99 of Cozy walks away with the first lap here tonight. So great job by him to jump out there, take over the lead of that outside lane, and get to the point. Leading the lap, putting some extra points in his pocket here tonight early in the race. Back down the back stretch, the 19 of Chris Mathis surges back to the lead with a huge push from that number 4 of Kaysen Plott. Third car inside lane, that 71 of Alan Dufries. Mark Truxell in the 5 out there. Second car outside lane, doing a heck of a job pushing Cozy to the lead for the moment, but has fell back since. Lap in the book now for Chris Mathis, your pole sitter, and we are still under green flag. Looked like that 8 machine started to get a little bit squirrely there. Murdoch with a little bit of a handful. Keeps it corralled, keeps them under him, and we stay under green. That Dr. Pepper machine looking nice back there as well. Had a few drivers hanging back just a little bit. Playing it safe here early tonight at Daytona International Speedway. Down the back stretch, and once again challenging for that race lead is the 99 of Michael Cozy with a great push from Mark Truxell. That's going to push Cozy to the lead. He drops down to the bottom. The 19 of Mathis right on his rear bumper. That's going to put Truxell to the front of the line outside row, and they are moving up rapidly. Only 4 cars in that outside lane, but they seem to be getting the job done right now against that inside lane. First 3 cars, then you have about a 1-car gap. Back to a 2-car tandem. We didn't have another 1-car to 2-car gap. Doesn't look like much on screen, but that aero difference means the world. Looks like 2-3 wide. The 19 jumping out of the way. He's down on the apron. He does not like what he sees. He's going to fall back through the field, letting a lot of drivers go by him. That's going to put Mark Truxell to the lead without any issues whatsoever. Michael Cozy running in the second position outside now, leading that outside lane. The 56 of Will Jones with help from the 54 of Justin Napier. Early in the race, working lap number 6. And we've already had a few lead changes. Probably only scored as 2 or 3. These drivers have been swapping that top spot for almost every single lap since the drop of the green flag. Inside lane with a little bit of distance in between the cars, letting everybody do the jobs that they need to do up front, pushing. Outside lane, pushing hard on each other right now. That 56 of Will Jones is trying to get up there, but just can't seem to get that last burst of speed that he's going to need to go to the front. And there you see off in the distance a few cars kind of just hanging out back there in the back, not wanting to mix it up just yet. You've seen just in front of your race leaders, 2-3, almost 3 wide there. The 99 went to the outside, thought he was clear, wasn't, then he was. He's going to use that momentum to now try to take the point away from Mark Truxell, that time crossing the line as your race leader still. But now Cozy in that outside lane with help from Will Jones. Will those 2 cars go to the front as they run up on lap traffic? Channing Ballou 2 laps down early here tonight. Not quite so sure what happened with Channing at the beginning of this race, but he is being scored 1 lap down already here tonight. It was just showing 2, but now it says just 1. I don't know. To the point that time, the 4 of Kason Plott, he gets the job done. He puts a lap lead into his bag, his book for tonight. Make that your 4th different leader so far already. Not even an 1/8 of a way into this thing. Only on lap number 9. And if it stays like this, it is going to be one heck of a night. Looks like some of the drivers are beginning to go single file. Your top 11 drivers all still piled up with each other, running in one big old pack. There you see a few stragglers right there, 3 of them. About 1 second off of your race leader. And then you have a big gap back to a few cars. Bobby Hamilton Jr., Jeff Napier, both of those drivers about 10 seconds away from the lead pack. So we'll take a look really fast here, see what's going on back here. There you see him. There are only 2 cars, Jeff Napier as well as Bobby Hamilton Jr. So those 2 drivers have a tall task at hand, 11.5 seconds behind your race leader. We'll rejoin the battle for the race lead up here at the front. Outside row beginning to prevail just a little bit. That is Mark Truxell leading that outside lane, trying to regain the lead from the 4 of Kason Plott through 1 and 2. Had a little bit of an advantage. We'll see how it all shakes out on the backstretch here. Looks like Truxell is gonna clear with no problems. Does he stay or wait for his pushing partner? No, he drops down to the bottom. That's gonna leave the 99 of Cozy up at the top with Will Jones. Down the backstretch and a move to the outside by Case and Plot. Looks like another car tried to go with him. Oh, and now 3 wide for second place. 99 of Cozy in the middle. Hunter Kent on the bottom. The 54 of Justin Napier had to jump out of the gas. He's going to fall back now. Hunter Kent jumping to the outside of Truxell. He's going to try to go up and lead a few laps here. He's yet to lead a lap here so far at Daytona International Super Speedway for race number 9. Presented to you by Mug Root Beer. It's the Superior Class Auto Racing. Down the backstretch, lap number 13. Numbers do belong to that outside lane. There you see the inside lane snaking their way towards turn number 3. There's about 10 cars lined up out there as now the 56 is getting left high and dry out there on the high lane all by himself. 3 wide. He slots back in now behind the 54 of Justin Napier. So Will Jones dropping out of the top 4 all the way back to the 7th or 8th position now. Hunter Kent was able to get out and in front of Mark Truxell. Oh, and a block made. There's going to be a caution. Truxell's caught up. Kent's caught up. Plot makes it through, but my goodness, you never like to see it happen up at the front. Look at all the carnage out there. Oh my goodness. Multiple cars involved in that caution. We'll take a look back here with our turn 3 replay. There you seen the block attempt there. Almost 3 wide. He blocked it. And that's what got it all started. Mayhem ensued. A lot of cars caught up in this one. Ooh. There you see that 7 of Hunter Kent smoking with heavy damage. We'll go back up, rejoin your race leader, the 71 of Alan Dufries, able to make it through all that chaos and carnage. And I tell you what, the 4 of Case and Plot, he was able to get through that. It looks like he's pretty clean. And then Michael Cozy in his 99 machine, he has got some heavy damage to the rear end. That's going to take a lot of hammers to fix and work some of those machines out. There you see the 8 of Quentin Murdoch also with some damage coming from that first and only, well, if it's the first one, it's got to be the only one. So, yeah. Anyways, a lot of cars with a lot of damage early here at Daytona International Super Speedway for race number 9 for the Superior Class Auto Racing League here on iRacing.com. World's #1 racing simulator. If it's got wheels and you want to ride in it, come check iRacing out. They got anything you can imagine. All cars and track scanned to laser precision for accuracy. And I tell you this much, it is way cheaper to wad one of these machines up than it is to pay a couple $1 million and just watch it slam into a wall. So, we'll keep that in mind. Looking through everything, looks like Justin Napier in his 54 machine, there you see him. He stayed out on track that time by. I do believe he will be ducking onto pit road this time. Looks like that 8 of Quentin Murdoch has been on and off of pit road. His car looks clean again, so maybe fast repair used. Yes, it does look like these drivers were allotted at least one fast repair. So a mulligan, if you will, a do-over maybe. Either way you want to call it or how you chalk it up. 65 laps left to go here tonight at Daytona International Super Speedway. And some of these drivers are going to have to really think about how they approach some of the racing for the rest of this race here tonight. Almost a quarter of a way into the race here tonight at Daytona International Super Speedway, and so far these Superior Class Auto Racing drivers have put on one heck of a show. Three wide for some of the time, double file the entire time since the drop of the green flag, and swapping positions lap after lap, down the front stretch, down the back stretch, in the corners. A lot of different drivers showing as leading a lap already. Looks like we've got about 6 to 7 different leaders at this point of the race. 17 laps into this thing, 64 left to go. And I don't see any let up. But that is not going to disappoint me one bit. I love this style of racing. I think every race should be... No, I'm just kidding. Every race shouldn't be one. But I absolutely love restrictor plate racing. Have a passion for it. And, you know, these style races and this style of an event... most drivers are usually not on the fence. Most drivers are one way or the other. They either love it or they absolutely hate it and despise it. Have to wait a little while, see how some of these drivers' feelings are about tonight. But things are fixing to pick back up. Pace car lights are out once again. Field working through 1 and 2, back to the back stretch. Here we go. Pace car is off. Cars reaching the restart line. And they're back. Green flag. Racing your leader, Quentin Murdoch, hits the loud pedal and gets a great start. The 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. started in that outside row, got a good start, had a lane, and went down to the bottom very quickly. They're going to fill the gap and leave that 71 of Alan Dufries up there at the top. Now looks like the 17 of David Schlithouse. I hope I didn't destroy it, David. I'm going to try. Just don't be mad at me. So the 17 and the 8 of Quentin Murdoch battling it out now for the race lead. Looks like Bobby Hamilton Jr. has dropped out of that field and has backed up a little bit. He's playing it safe right now. If if I had to bet on his strategy, it's to be around at the end. You see a big move there by the 17. Jumping down to the bottom of the racetrack. I know it is showing up as the 7, but he is the 17. The 7 is Hunter Kent. So a little bit of custom numbers on that 17 machine. That's why it looks like it's the 7. Really isn't, though. Quentin Murdoch pushing the daylights out of that 17, keeping him up at the front. The 71 of Alan Dufries has made his way back up towards the front. He's going to challenge for the lead to the line. Looks like the 88 of Channing Ballou is still being scored. 1 to 2 laps down. I believe it is just 1. And he is doing a heck of a job pushing that 71. Just those 2 cars up there battling against a 5-car pack. Then you go about 2 cars back to reach your next 4-car back. Then you see Bobby Hamilton Jr. leading the next 4 or 5 cars. So things looking pretty organized and pretty calm so far since this restart. And I tell you what, while it is fairly calm out there, we're going to go ahead and do something that I love to do, especially at restrictor plate races. We're going to go ahead and do one of our Shut Up and Race segments. Enjoy the sights and sounds here from Daytona International Superspeedway. Man, I absolutely love that. Love restrictor plate racing. And these superior class auto racing drivers putting on one heck of a show out there so far for us tonight. Battle for the race lead still raging on between the 17 of David Schlithouse and the 71 of Alan Dufries. Alan still leading that outside lane with help from Channing Ballou. That inside lane looks like it may be the place to be. Always is the shortest distance around the racetrack. Looks like the field is beginning to do what I call the calm portion of the race. We're still double file for the top 3 positions as we run right now, but all these other drivers just kind of hanging out, playing it safe, leaving a little bit of a gap there. You see it about a car or 2 between most of the drivers outside of that top 5. Everybody's still within about a second or so of the race leader. Jeff Napier and his 40 machine back there in 16th position. He is a ways off of the lead, and he is in danger of going a lap down here soon if he doesn't get a little bit of help from a caution flag. No, whoa, big moment there. Channing Ballou trying to save it. He gets it corralled. Oh my goodness. Still trying to work through the gas. Still working that wheel, and he's able to get it done without having any more issues, anything go wrong. And that could have been a very, very big moment. Hats off to all the drivers making their way through that. That's going to put Ballou all the way. Well, he was already being scored a lap down, but was very close to racing his way back onto the lead lap. till he had a handful of Monster Energy Cup cars. Cup car to handle. I believe he is riding in that Chevy ZL1 Camaro, so that Camaro giving him a fit. Corralled it and got it pointed in the right direction, but there you see inside lane, 2 Chevys up against a fast Toyota of Chris Mathis. That 19 machine coming back to the front once again. Oh, and the 19 slides just in front. Ooh, that was close. Just in front. I believe that is the 08 of Brian Phelan, or Fallon, I should say. I apologize. And man, that was close. Outside lane, losing a little bit of ground, losing a little bit of momentum. Might be wise to just slot in behind these top 4 drivers. They're not going to do it just yet. Looks like that 17 of David Schlithouse is going to try to get that outside lane rolling and back up to the front once again. Will his help stay with him? As of right now, looks like they will, but I'm going to back up just a hair here. Take a look at that second pack. That is the 99 of... I am wrong. That is not the 99. The 99 of Cozy Jr. He's up just outside of the top 5. I believe that is the 4 of Kason Plott leading that second pack. Only about a half a second, a little bit less off of your race leader. Bobby Hamilton Jr. is at the tail end of the entire pack, 15th position, only about 2 seconds off of your race leader, so still within distance to work his way up through the field, still able to strike if he needs to, but also has some distance to avoid some carnage should it happen in front of him. Meanwhile, up at the front, the 8 of Quentin Murdoch is going to try to put yet another lap into the books tonight. Not going to have any issues with doing that. Looks like the 71 of Alan Dufries is happy and content with just sticking right there and pushing Murdoch around for a few laps. Going to have to watch the temperature. That's something these drivers have to have their eyes on. Not very often are their eyes strictly out of that windshield. You're using your mirrors and in every instrument on that dash to try to get the most out of these race cars, and temperature can be a problem at times. Now looks like the 19 of Chris Mathis coming through 3 and 4 has a little bit of help. 4 cars lined up out there with him. They're going to make their way back up towards the front. Looks like the 54 of Justin Napier also right there now. Almost 3 wide once again. There you see Channing Ballou going back towards the front of the field. And this is a precarious situation for some of these drivers. Some of them already used up a fast repair. Not sure if they have another one in the bank. But a little bit of a situation when you have a car a lap or more down trying to race their way back onto the lead lap, that can get a little bit hairy and frightening. 3 wide, almost 4 wide now. Oh my gosh, I don't know how they made that work. Justin Napier squeezes his way to the bottom line. And that's going to put Brian Fallon, Chris Matthews, all 3 wide. That outside lane moving forward just a little bit, as it looks like Mathis is all alone in that middle. Now Channing Ballou dropping down, picking him up. He's going to try to use the momentum those 4 cars are going to start to get. Try to slingshot himself by your race leader, the 8 of Quentin Murdoch. There you see a car on the apron staying out of the way. That is the 5 of Mark Truxell. So big trouble for Mark being scored 2 laps down from your race leader right now. And Channing Ballou up there fighting for his life. 3 laps down so far here tonight, trying to get one of them back. Can he get the job done the hard way? Looks like he's got the help, but does he have the strength in that Chevy Z01 Camaro to get the job done, to get up and around another bow tie bad man? Quentin Murdoch leading the, I believe that is his 9th lap. Yes, it is. If I just look at the top of the screen, it'd be right there for me. Thank you, everybody back here from Turn 3 Racing Network, putting all the things up on the screen for, well, people like me to read. And then I still don't read it. It's awesome, isn't it? Oh, big moment. Blue, very wiggly. That thing was juking and jiving through the tri-oval. My goodness, he keeps it under him again. And that's got to be one of those nerve-wracking situations. Now you see Chris Mathis leaving Blue out there all alone on the outside. It's a long way back for help for him, as most of the field is single file. Now looks like Mathis is peeking out, trying to see if he can get somebody to go with him. Blue able to slot down onto that inside lane. Now just 2 cars back in the pack, around 10th place or so, flirting with that outside lane. They're going to get someone wants to go with him. Blue goes back to the outside. Case and Plot back to the outside as well. A little bit of house cleaning while we can do it here under green flag conditions. 19 cars took to the grid here today for race number 9, Daytona night, for the Superior Class Auto Racing, presented to you by Mug Root Beer here on Turn 3 Racing Network. As I said, 19 cars took to the grid. 18 still out there running, 16 still on the lead lap. First car 2 laps down. The 5 of Mark Truxell was an early race leader here. Then trouble struck up at the front, has him caught up and behind the 8 ball. Things on track, however, not calming down just yet. Have some 2-car tandems trying to get the job done outside lane. Channing Ballou going around your race leader, getting a lap back the hard way, the old school way, if you will. He's going to try to, oh, he squeezes right down in front of that 8. That's going to get him loose. What a great job right there. Alan Dufries, wheelman. That's the good hands by Allstate maneuver right there for sure. If we had one here on Turn 3 Racing Network, man, he could have ended the night for that 8 machine. Checked up, played his cards right, and man, that could have been disaster for a lot of drivers up here near the front of this field. While all that took place, the 19 of Chris Mathis took advantage of the situation. He goes to the point. Now the 4 of Case and Plot, he's jumping out. He's not liking what he sees right now. He's backing up. The 99 of Cozy Jr., he gets a push from the 17 of David Sledgehouse. Lap car right there, right in front of your race leaders. Now 3 wide with your race leaders. They're going to get by, no problem. Back to the line to begin lap 38 out of 80 laps scheduled here tonight at Daytona International Superspeedway. 43 laps left to go. And man, whew, this is some intense stuff at times. I'll tell you what, oh man, Channing Ballou, he is making a lot of quick maneuvers out there on track, trying to get that lap back, multiple laps back, I should say. David Sledgehouse and Quentin Murdoch, though, they're going to power their way around on the outside and back to the point goes Sledgehouse. All the drivers still within 2 seconds of each other. And yes, that does include that 88 machine. There you see him, second car on the inside row. He is being shown 3 laps down, but he is racing his guts out right now, looking for an angle, looking for a spot. Nothing materializing for him as the 8 of Quentin Murdoch closes the hole on the outside. Will Baloo push the issue off of 4 if there's an opportunity? There you see him sliding just in front of that 8. And now 3 wide, it looks like, down the back to the tri-oval. They sorted out go double file, and it looks like we're starting to get some cars backing away just a little bit. The 56 of Will Jones, David Bradford, Thomas McMullen, Colt Ansley, Bobby Hamilton Jr., they have all dropped about, I would say, about a half a second or more from where they were just running 2 to 3 laps ago. Maybe not happy with some of the maneuvers going on up at the front. Backing off just a little bit, trying to keep a safe distance. But that 17 of David Sledgehouse, he is trying to win it all. Gotta catch them all like Pokemon. Try to put all the laps in the book for yourself if you can. He is making a great case for that so far. 8 now make it 9 laps led for Sledgehouse. Outside lane, Quentin Murdoch pushing the lap machine. Oh, and Baloo to the bottom. Big move to get down there to the bottom. Make no mistakes, folks. He may be a few laps down, but he is here to race tonight. Channing Baloo dropping right down in front. Oh, big move. Also back here by the 71 of Alan DeFries. He jumped to the outside very quickly. Now looking back to the inside lane. These drivers are starting to juke and jive around, and I tell you what, we're going to have to start paying attention to the fuel cells because we have been 26 laps since the green flag dropped once again here for our restart. And looking through the field, the 53 of Steve Murdoch. He is right there up near the front. There you see him on screen just behind Quentin Murdoch, and he has got 35 laps in on his tires. So he's going to have to hit pit road a lot sooner than the drivers around him, and that may come back to haunt him if we come to the point where we have green flag pit stops. Not sure what the fuel load is here tonight for race number 9 for the Superior Class Auto Racing, presented to you by Mug Root Beer here on Turn 3 Racing Network. But with a 10-lap difference, that is a lot of gas to try to make up. Even if you're half throttle in the draft maintaining, that is an awful lot of laps to try to make up. Battle for the lead once again around Channing Baloo. 17 of David Sledgehouse goes back to the point. The 99 of Michael Cozy Jr. pushes him around into the point, and they're going to put that 88 machine down. Well, back down to being 3 laps down. Mark Truxell now being shown 3 laps down as well. Jeff Napier and his 40 machine is being scored. The first car 1 lap down. And there you see it, folks, on pit road right now. The 53 of Steve Murdoch had to bring it down pit road. He was pushing the issue. So we're going to be looking at about 35 to 36 laps on a tank of fuel. And although he's more than likely going to make it to the end here, he is going to be a very lonely driver out there. When he rejoins the racetrack, he's going to hopefully be able to blend in with some other cars somehow, some way. Not sure how that's going to be possible as all the drivers begin to get single file down there on the yellow line. Long train of cars. Looks like there's 14 cars here in this pack, all running on the bottom. And there you see Channing Baloo trying to go back around these leaders. Now going to go 3 wide with another lap down car. Mark Truxell being put another lap down, now being scored 4 laps down. And there you see Murdoch. He's trying to stay on the lead lap. He's not going to be able to do it. He is now the first car 1 lap down. So that's going to put 14 cars on the lead lap. All of them are right here in this group. Green flag pit stops looming in the air in about the next 5 to 6 laps or so for these race leaders. Who's going to come? Who's going to stay out? What is that going to do for that 53? Oh, and 1 car goes through the grass. That was the 53 of Steve Murdoch. We'll take a look back really quick if we can, see what happened here with Murdoch. He's on the, there you see him on the top side. Looks like he's coming down and just not enough room. Spins himself through the infield. Let's watch, see if there's any contact. I don't believe there was no contact with anything. We're going to stay under green flag conditions. Back up front with your race leader, the 17 of David Slidgehouse, still leading the 99 of Michael Cozy. And the rest of your top 5 looks a little something like this. Quentin Murdoch running in the 3rd position. The 4th place goes to the 08 of Brian Phelan. And the last man standing in the top 5, the 71 of Alan Dufries, getting the job done. There you see Mark Truxell, heavily damaged vehicle, 4 laps down, but he is still racing his heart out. Every point matters here in the Superior Class Auto Racing League on iRacing.com. And this is the time when I would hate to be a spotter and crew chief, because you are trying to make every deal that you can to try to get as many guys to cooperate for this green flag pit stop. That way you can get onto pit road, off of pit road in the shortest amount of time, with the most people to build the momentum back quicker than the other cars. And we'll see, it looks like 3-2, no, only 2, yes, 3 cars gonna hit pit lane this time by. That's going to be the 56 of Will Jones, the 19 of Chris Mathis, and the 46 of David Bradford hitting pit road this time. Going to have 32 laps to go on their tank of fuel. They can get there from here without a question, as they are about anywhere from 31 to 34 laps into this green flag run. Most of the field still staying single file, and have another 2 cars now make that 3. Bobby Hamilton Jr., Channing Ballou hitting pit road. Kaysen Plott in the 4 machine also hitting pit road this time by. Will they be able to rejoin the racetrack and get there with Chris Matford and Chris Matford. Oh, Lord. Will that 19 of Chris Mathis be able to get David Bradford and Will Jones back around Bobby Hamilton Jr., Hunter Kent, and Kaysen Plott? And if those 6 drivers can all gang up, they might have a chance on some of this lead pack, as if they don't pit together, the numbers are going to be with the drivers that have already hit pit road. Looks like Jeff Napier and his 40 machine had to come back down pit road yet again. And that's going to put him a 2nd lap down at the least. Meanwhile, nothing really going on up here at the front. Everything kind of calm and collective. The 17 of David Slidgehouse still leading the race. Michael Cozy Jr. in 2nd. Quentin Murdoch 3rd. Brian Phelan in the 08 sitting in the 4th position. Looks like all of your race leaders going to come to pit road. We'll keep an eye on it. Everybody cleanly onto pit road, and that's going to put, I believe, this man in this group right here. These gentlemen pitted first out of everybody, and they have about a 2-second gap back to the 4 car of Kason Plott, the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr., and the 7 of Hunter Kent. So these 3 drivers hitting pit road first, they have bought themselves a good cushion and a lot of time on the field. We'll have to wait and watch, see where these gentlemen shake out here at the conclusion of the green flag pit cycle. 29 laps now make that 28 laps left to go here at Daytona International Speedway. 80 laps scheduled here tonight for the Superior Class Auto Racing, brought to you by Root Beer. There you see some drivers trying to get up to speed, and I don't think they're not gonna have the momentum to stay caught up. But oh, look at the 8. That 8 machine was trying to slow down the momentum of that outside lane and keep them behind them, but they're not going to be able to do it. That 8 of Quentin Murdoch, however, he's going to be able to stay with these drivers and hook up with them, and that's going to bring the 99 of Michael Cozy and David Slidgehouse. That's going to bring all those drivers back up there with them, so we'll have another, I believe that is going to be 7 cars now in that first pack. Bobby Hamilton Jr. leading your second pack in the 8th position. Kason Plott right there behind him in 9th. And Alan Dufries in the 71 machine rounding out your top 10. And I tell you what, sorry, it popped in my head. Ain't nothing like some good old mug root beer, man, after a wrestling practice. I'm sure you heard the can drop on the desk. That's an empty one. That's the second empty one since 8:30 here tonight. So, yeah. Got to keep them on hand. Back to the race lead. The 19 of Chris Mathis was part of the 3-car group that hit pit road first, but now that second group with Michael Cozy leading the 17 of David Sledgehouse. They're going to try to come around the outside. There's just 2 of them. Will they be able to get the job done? How much is that slowing them down as well? Because Bobby Hamilton Jr. is about 2.5 seconds back with his 4 or 5 cars that are running in the pack with him. The more these drivers up front mix it up, the more that plays into the hands of those those 4 drivers. And I'd like to see them 4 catch up. That would put an interesting twist on the end of this race. Only 25 laps left to go here tonight. These drivers have been putting on an absolutely amazing show here tonight. Only 2 cautions. 1 caution, scratch that, here tonight. So, heck of a job by these Superior Class Auto Racing drivers. Only 1 caution at a restrictor plate race. There you see it, 18 lead changes. You can probably double that. That's 18 lead changes at the start-finish line. So I believe there's been a lot more than that. And there you see it with those drivers mixing it up front. Bobby Hamilton Jr. and his group, they have recaught your race leaders. That pack in the outside lane is now moving forward with Quentin Murdoch at the point. leading the way. Just behind him is that 99 of Michael Cozy and the 17 of David Sledgehouse. Will Jones in the 56 machine, third car there inside row, just behind the 46 of David Bradford. And Chris Mathis, those drivers, I tell you what, they did a heck of a job on their pit strategy. They came down pit road, got off of pit road together, and pretty much took over the race lead. Here after the green flag pit cycle, looks like the car's now starting to form those two lanes once again. The 88 of Channing Ballou is being scored 3 laps down, but he is right here with your race leaders. There you see him, top of your screen, 4th car outside row, and he is still trying to race and get some of them laps back. Hats off, my man. That is some grit and some go-getting. See a lot of movement out of these cars, especially through the tri-oval. A little bit of movement in the center of the corners, and now the 8 of Quentin Murdoch jumps to the bottom line. He's going to take over the race lead. Chris Mathis. I don't know why I keep wanting to call you Matthews. I went to school with a Chris Matthews. Maybe that's why. I'm not sure. He was on my wrestling team. Like, you guys know that. But anyways, Chris Mathis slotted in the second position. Will he try to utilize that outside lane when Cozy gets up there? Cozy now jumping to the bottom. That's going to put Ballou in the center. Sledgehouse to the outside, 3 wide. He's going to yield the position, fall back, try to get down there to that inside lane. No thinks about it, stays out there. Now the 19 of Mathis jumps to the outside with help from Bradford. That's going to leave Will Jones down there on the bottom lane. He's going to get a push from the 08 of Brian Fallon. They're going to get back to the rear bumper of Quentin Murdoch, but Murdoch falling to the wayside. Now Channing Ballou dropping to the inside. He's going to take over, leading that inside lane. Your race leader, however, the 19, on the outside lane with help from only that 46 of David Bradford. And I don't know, if I was Mathis, I would kind of, I don't mind that 88 leading that inside lane, just as long as the distance isn't made up enough for Murdoch to jump to that outside lane just in front of me on corner exit. I'll let that 88 cross the line before me, just as long as I keep that 8 just behind my front tires. I'd be happy with it. But Murdoch not giving up, and he has pushed Ballou up and clear. Top 2 cars inside lane are clear of the outside lane. Only 3 cars out there trying to get the job done. The 71 of Alan Dufries has rejoined this battle, being scored in the 6th position. And man, Murdoch might want to look at them gauges, might want to keep an eye on that water temperature, the oil temperature, because he has pushed the bejesus out of that 88 machine, well and clear of that outside lane. And I would look for Murdoch at any point in time to jump to that outside lane to try to go back around this 88 of Channing Ballou. There you see peaking just a little bit, maybe just getting a little bit of air, and the top 11 still right here in this lead pack. Whew-wee. Well, we got a chance. 18 laps left to go here at Daytona International Speedway. Tonight's race being brought to you by Mug Root Beer here on Turn 3 Racing Network. 19 cars took to your racing grid. 18 cars still out there on track we do still have 14 cars on the lead lap. First car being scored 1 lap down is the 53 of Steve Murdoch. Then you go to 16th to see the 40 of Jeff Napier. Also 1 lap down. First car 2 laps down. The 88 of Channing Ballou. Then 3 laps down. Early race leader, the 5 of Mark Truxell, slotted in the 18th position. Cars beginning to wiggle a lot as the pushes are beginning to get a little bit more aggressive. My goodness. There you see a few of the drivers, 4 of them to be exact. They're kind of hanging by the wayside right now. That's the 4 of Cason Plott, Bobby Hamilton Jr., Justin Napier, and I believe that is David Sledgehouse just up in front of all those drivers. The other 2 in between. Cason Plott and Bobby Hamilton Jr. are being scored a lap down or more, but they are still part of the battle, part of the pack. This thing is getting closer and closer to all take, no give. Who's got the guts to put the car where no one else will? I'll tell you a man that's got some guts, and that's the driver leading that inside lane, Channing Ballou, not having any second thoughts about getting up there and racing with the cars on the lead lap, getting one of his laps back the old school hard way, now being scored just 2 laps down. And if he could get a caution, that would be great for him. Get 1 lap back, then receive a wave around. If these drivers pit, that'd be 2 laps back for him all at once. He would then only need a green-white checkered situation to get back on the lead lap and race it out for the race win. It's a long shot, but hey, it's restrictor plate racing, and it can happen. Gonna give you something we haven't really given you all night long. Let's go on board here tonight with, or turn 3 on board camera. Let's go on board with your race leader, Quentin Murdoch. There you see him wide-eyed, looking right at the rear end. There you see him. Look how close it is. Camera right behind the airflow openings here in this Cup car, and man, he is all over Channing Ballou. Remember, Murdoch is your race leader. However, he is the second car on the inside lane. Chris Mathis trying to take the race lead. He does have help with the 46 of David Bradford pushing him on the outside lane. And here we go. It's about time for business to pick up 2 cars now. Looks like that 71 of Alan Dufries looking to take it 3 wide. If the opportunity presents it, there it is. He's going to stuff it right there in the middle. He's going to try to make his way up through the field using that center lane. Now 2 cars on the outside. Alan Dufries coming up through the center. Back down to just 2 wide. Dufries slotting back in behind Bradford. They're going to regain some momentum, some strength, and possibly try it one more time. 12 laps left to go out of the 80 in the scheduled race distance. And man, I tell you what, these drivers have put on one heck of a show out here tonight. Hats off to all of them. Hats off to all of you out there watching. All the great racing action here tonight provided to you by us here at Turn 3. Thank you. If you haven't already, go ahead, hit that thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live over here on Turn 3 Racing Network, bringing you all sorts of great action across the iRacing.com platform. So tune in anytime you want for some great racing action. And here we go, this time by the line. We will have 10 laps to go in race number 9 here at Daytona International Super Speedway. Presented to you by Mug Root Beer. It's the Superior Class Auto Racing League. Big moves being made by a lot of drivers. Some of those drivers are being scored a lap down. Looks like they're just getting out of the way. Things heating up, 2, 3 wide up at the front. Bradford in the 46. He's hung high and dry out there in that third lane. Now going to slot back into the outside lane just behind Michael Cozy. And Channing Ballou in his 88 machine, he is still leading the field. However, he is still being scored 2 laps down, and laps are clicking away on his night. If something does not happen soon, his night is going to be all for naught. Leading this field is going to be all for naught, as he will end up still being 2 laps down at the end of this thing. Now looks like the 19 of Chris Mathis with a great push on the outside lane by the 71 of Alan Dufries, making his way by Quentin Murdoch. Now Murdoch falling to 3rd position as Mathis opens the door, and Dufries looked like he was going to stick it 3 wide. Back out of it. And we stay wide open, flat out here at Daytona International Super Speedway. And man, I don't know why that popped up. I'll have to figure that out. Yep. Anyways, 8 laps to go. Down. Oh! And Channing Ballou gets turned through the backstretch. The 8 of Quentin Murdoch. He's involved. We stay under green. He keeps it going. That's going to end the night for... Oh, and we got more carnage. Bobby Hamilton Jr. involved. Will Jones involved. Oh my goodness, a lot of cars caught up in that. There you see the 4 car. He's slow. Let's take a look back here, see what happened. Oh, and Bradford was also involved, I do believe. No, sorry, that was the 56. There you see more contact. A lot of contact through this. Let's back it up once again. There you see the first one. We'll jump up to our aerial coverage. I don't know why that's looking like that. Sorry about that, got sidetracked. We'll look one more time from our aerial coverage, brought to you tonight by Superior Class Auto Racing. There you see light contact, and then just drivers couldn't get it together, couldn't get it saved. The 71 goes around, the 4 gets into the 53. He goes around, almost into the 71 of Alan Dufries, hard into the wall, backs it into the wall, the 53 of Steve Murdoch. So, that's going to change things up here at the end of this race. Late caution flying. Whew. My goodness. That's going to put the 19 of Chris Mathis on the point. The 46 of David Bradford right there behind him. The 99 of Michael Cozy sitting in 4th. Now give that position to Bobby Hamilton Jr. as he comes around and gets where he's supposed to be. Justin Napier will slot in 4th. Quentin Murdoch in 5th. Quentin with some damage, though. That's going to be rough going for him. And it looks like a little bit of heated discussion going on between that 8 of Quentin Murdoch and the 88 of Channing Ballou. no extracurricular activities, so no harm, no foul. Things happen, as drivers we do get pretty heated though. So we'll just have to wait and see. Let timing and scoring work itself out here as drivers were getting back in positions that they were in when that caution did fly. But while we do have the opportunity, while we have the opportunity, I'm going to take a moment to catch my breath as these last few laps are going to be amazing. I can promise you that these drivers are going to go all out. Looks like we'll have about 3 laps or so to go when we take the green flag. So we're not in a green-white checkered condition just yet. But one may be looming in the near future for the drivers out there on track tonight. Not looking like anybody's really going to go down pit road. Few drivers may that are being scored laps down. Channing Ballou, Steve Murdoch. Looked like Mark Truxell and his 5 machine also hit pit road. I think that's more so just to kind of get out of the way and let these leaders race it out for these final 2 to 3 laps that they're going to have when we get back to green flag racing. Whew. I'm going to have to be quiet for a second, so let me catch my breath before we get back to all the great racing action here. We're going to step away for just a moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll bring you all the live action, the conclusion of tonight's race here on Turn 3 Racing Network.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Thanks for sticking with us here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Pace car lights are off. 3 laps to go when these drivers take the green flag for what could be the final restart of the race. We'll have to wait and see if that holds out to be true. But your race leader, the 19 of Chris Mathis, has... Keep saying Matthews. I'm sorry, bro. I don't know. My brain just ain't clicking with it. It just, yeah. Chris Mathis, though, gonna take the inside lane, gonna get the race started back when we go green flag here momentarily. Looks like the pace car is gonna make that left-hand turn any second now, and we will get set to fire this thing off for what could be our final restart to the restart zone. Back to the gas is the 19, and we are green once again here at Daytona International Super Speedway. The 19 of Chris Mathis out with a great restart. He's going to take the lead. He has the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. Where did he come from? He was in the back the most of the race. Moved to the front when the time was right. There you see him slotting into the outside lane just in front of the 46. Mathis tries to throw the block, not going to get it done. Put Bobby Hamilton Jr. to the point as of right now. Now 3 wide for second position. Oh, and the 99 of Cozy Jr., he's going to come by now. Hamilton Jr. getting rooted out. He's going to find spot and get back in line in that outside lane, and Chris Mathis gonna lead this thing back to the line. 2 laps left to go here at Daytona International Super Speedway, and Michael Cozy Jr. back to the point of the outside lane. He's gonna try to work his way back up around your race leader, getting one heck of a push from the 8 of Quentin Murdoch. Quentin, oh, and the 99 goes around. He's into a lot of cars, lot of carnage. Only 3 cars making it through that. Oh my, caution once again. We'll jump on with one of these cars back through here because, oh my goodness, that was big. We'll back it up one time, show you what happened here on the turn 3 replay. Let's go up from the blimp cam, see what happened here. And that's, I don't know, I think I would, heavy contact for that 71 machine. Let's back it up one more time and look at it for you from another perspective. And, man, that's just racing. The 8 got a little bit out of shape down on the apron, trying to come back up. Driver trying to make a little bit of evasive maneuvers. That didn't pan out so well for the field. And, man, a lot of good cars caught up in that one here at the end of our race. We'll have to wait and see if that's going to end it or if we're going to go back green flag racing. We'll rejoin the race leaders now, though. That was a lot of cars caught up in that. The 19 of Chris Mathis was able to make his way through. The 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. and the 46 of David Bradford. All 3 of those drivers making it through with no issues. And we'll wait and see how it shakes out here. I believe we will have a green-white checkered, so I do not think this thing is in the bag just yet for the 19 of Chris Mathis. So, scheduled race distance in the books, but we are not done yet. Oh my goodness, lap. Lucky dog recipient coming through. A little bit of a moment there for Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Chris Mathis. And if that last restart wasn't enough to get your blood pumping, well, this one is going to be a little bit more intense in my opinion. And I don't think there's very many drivers that are going to lift at any point in time here under this green-white checkered attempt. And there was a lot of cars caught up in that. A lot of cars with some heavy damage. Michael Cozy on pit road still. David Sledgehouse on pit road. Brian Fellon, Will Jones also on pit road for an extended stay. Alan Dufries, Justin Napier, all of those drivers still on pit road. Some of them coming off of pit road right now. So a lot of hammers and sawzalls being used down there on pit lane, trying to just get these cars back out and finish this thing. And I mean, quite honestly, still an amazing job all night long by every single one of these drivers. Had a handful of moments that could have been big time moments and ended some nights. Were avoided by the great, just the skill level to get through some of the incidents that some of these drivers have had is absolutely astonishing. Pace car lights should be going out this time by when we hit the start finish line. And that will give us 15 cars on the lead lap when we go back green flag racing. I would normally say that as long as you are on the track, you have a shot at winning this thing. But I think some of these drivers may have just a little bit too much damage, and I don't think they're going to be able to get up and battle for the race lead. But, we've seen stranger things happen. There can be a 10-car pileup under the white flag and racing back to the line. You could walk away with the race win out of nowhere. So I won't count anybody out just yet, except for Channing Ballou and Mark Truxell, both of those drivers being scored 3 laps down. Pace car lights are off. First green-white checkered attempt here for the Superior Class Auto Racing, brought to you by Mug Root Beer here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Once again, from myself, David Worrell, up here in the booth, thank you to everybody out there watching. Thank you to every one of these drivers for putting on an absolute phenomenal show out here tonight for all of you fans, viewers, and family. And man, if you weren't excited for the end of this thing, business has definitely picked up. There is going to be no give. It is going to be absolutely all take, not giving an inch. Look for the side drafts to be a little bit more aggressive. Look for the bump drafts to be a little bit more aggressive. Anything you can do to try to get to the front, that's what you're going to do. Especially this late green-white checkered attempt, you're for sure going to be on that loud pedal the entire time, never lifting until you see either another caution flag fly or that checkered flag fly, and hopefully that yellow one comes out and you are not one of the drivers caught up in it. Well, here we go. Pace car ducks off. Chris Mathis brings him to the line. Back under green flag conditions, the 19 gets away with a great start. Bobby Hamilton Jr. struggling to get the car going. He's going to slot in behind the 46 of David Bradford, and that could have been the move that wins the race for any of these drivers. Bobby Hamilton Jr. laying back, trying to get a run off of turn 2 now. Heavy side draft on that 46 of Bradford as Case and Plot jumping to the outside with Bobby Hamilton Jr. There you see Mathis with the block. That's going to open up the bottom lane. Now the third lane is starting to go. They can't block. Oh! Big time wreck. The entire field was in that one. All of your front runners. There you see Chris Mathis, no front clip on the front of his 19 machine. Wow. Let's watch this one more time. Trying to block 3 lanes, and it just did not work out very well. Oof. Tough break. The 86 of Colt Ansley haven't mentioned his name very much all race long, but there you see it at the end. He is right there. He's trying to get up through the center in the middle lane. The 19 tries to go up the block. Contact made, push from the rear. And that is all she wrote. And I think there may have been one driver to get through it all. We'll take a look back, see if this holds to be true. But I believe that 7 of Hunter Kent made it through without any damage. And maybe the 46 also. A little bit of contact for that 46. 7 gets sideways. 46 wiggling. Oh, and I think the 46 ended up in the wall back there. Let's take a look at this save one time. Let's see if he ends up in the wall. I don't believe that David Bradford ended up in the wall. There you see the contact made between himself and Hunter Kent trying to save the car. Oh, hard. Pancaked that outside wall. So Hunter Kent, one of the only drivers to really make it through that last caution there. Oh, one more time. That is just a lot of torn up race cars back there in the replay. My goodness, there you see him smoking coming down pit road. We're going to have our second attempt at a green-white checkered here tonight at Daytona International Speedway. It looks like Michael Cozy, David Slidgehouse, Jeff Napier, those drivers are going to take over the race lead as they have already hit pit road, came back out under the last caution prior to the green-white checkered attempt. But that 7 machine is pretty torn up there across the nose. His Toyota Camry has seen better days. Looks like a few of the drivers on the inside lane pretty clean still. That 99 of Michael Cozy Jr., he is looking like his machine is gonna be okay. Hunter Kent also looking like he's gonna be okay. Whew. Well, all take, no give, and you end up in the fence. Bobby Hamilton Jr. had one heck of a race going for him. Got caught up in that latest incident, however, has been on and off pit road, fixed his machine with his fast repair, and he is sitting in the 8th position. There you see him just behind the 19 of Chris Mathis, who has also used a fast repair, and I believe Colt Ansley has stayed out on track. If this is showing it correctly, he has stayed out on track after that incident. His car is looking pretty good, so I wouldn't necessarily count him out. And please forgive us the The main bar up here at the top not showing accurate timing and scoring, so let's see if we can't utilize this one. No, it's showing the same thing. Under green-white checker conditions, the timing and scoring gets a little bit whacked out, so we'll just have to bear with that. Race results will be accurate and on point, so no worries there. But this is going to be a crazy restart. Michael Cozy Jr. gonna have the point. The 17 of David Sledgehouse gonna have second position. Third goes to Jeff Napier. Fourth, the 53 of Steve Murdoch was a lap or two down at one point, and there you see him gonna be starting. Second car, outside row, with a chance to win this thing. Fifth position goes to the 8 of Quentin Murdoch, the 86 of Colt Ansley in sixth. Seventh goes to the 19 of Chris Mathis, Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the 8th spot. Ninth goes to the 7 of Hunter Kenton. Rounding out your top 10 for this second green-white checkered attempt is the 52 of Thomas McMullen. Pace car lights are off. Ford Mustang will make that left-hand turn once again here any moment. We will get things set to go back. Green flag racing. Second green-white checkered attempt. Pace car is off. Field in the hands of your race leader, and he's back to the gas, and we are green once again here at Daytona International Speedway. Cars all off to a good start. There you see Mark Truxell down on, and the 40. The 40 just shot across the track into that inside wall. And look at Bobby Hamilton Jr. carving up through the field, 3 wide, wrecking on the bottom. They're going to keep it. Oh no, Quentin Murdoch caught up in another one, and we are under caution once again here at Daytona International Speedway, and I think that is going to give us our third green-white checkered, so I am not sure if this thing is over or not. And that was a 4-wide situation. 4 wide coming through the corner, and that is what brought out our latest caution. We'll look at this one more time. There you see the 40 have his problems. He goes sliding down to the inside of the track. We stay under green. Here it is, 3 wide. Now make it 4 for a second. Didn't work out. Chris Mathis into the 46, who's into the 8. The 54 able to get by. And we are under caution once again here at Daytona International Speedway. Pace car coming back out to pick up the race leader. And man, if this is it, we'll have our final green-white checkered attempt, as I believe there is 3 green-white checkered attempts here for Superior Class Auto Racing. And if that restart tells you something, it's that man right there on screen, that 25 machine of Bobby Hamilton Jr. He is going to blast his way to the front of the field. He restarted in 8th and drove his way up to the 2nd spot before that caution flag flew. He was in front of the caution, so that's not what put him in that spot. So Hamilton Jr. getting his car fixed up and out there on track, and he is the man to probably beat right here on this last restart, this third and final attempt at a green-white checkered finish. damaged vehicle of Michael Cozy Jr., the rear end of his machine beat up just a little bit. Bobby Hamilton Jr. looks like he's pretty clean and clear. The 17 of David Slithouse is a little bit beat up and battered, front end torn up a little bit, rear end has seen its better days. The 86 of Colt Ansley looks like his car's pretty much straight. The 52 of Thomas McMullen slotted in the 5th spot. His car has a little bit of damage as well. The 53 of Steve Murdoch has been involved in a few incidents, but he still finds himself with a shot in the dark at the race win here. So you cannot count any of these drivers out just yet. And man, whew, I know you've heard me say whew an awful lot, but the intensity is out the roof. It's through the charts, off the charts, and however you want to say it or categorize it. It is just some unbelievable great racing action here. Pace car staying on the track, so we will have at least one more lap to go around this 2.5 mile racetrack. So I tell you what, while we have a second, we're going to step away for just a brief moment. We'll be right back. You won't miss any of the conclusion of this race here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Thanks for staying with us. Getting down to the nitty-gritty, pace car lights are off as the field works its way down the back stretch. Final restart looms in the air. Who is going to bring it home? Will it be Michael Cozy Jr.? Will he be able to hold off the fast and hard-charging 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr.? Or will Colt Ansley find a way to make his way to the front of the field from third place? Or actually, I apologize, David Slithouse is going to be in third place. Colt Ansley lined up second car outside road just behind that 25 machine of Bobby Hamilton Jr. Pace car will be making that hard left-hand turn any minute now. And here we go. Back to green flag racing any moment. Pace cars off. Field coming to the restart line. And they're back. Green flag racing from Daytona International Speedway. third green-white checkered attempt, and Cozy sitting pretty up there right now. Oh, and there's carnage behind them. Caution comes back out, and I think that is going to end it for tonight's race. We'll take a look back at what happened, and I think Chris Mathis involved once again here. Let's see what happened. And looked like an issue between him and that 53 of Steve Murdoch. We'll take a look from the blimp one more time here. Looks like the 18 gets a good start. He drops down to the bottom. Then the 19 coming up fast. Looks 3 wide and just got a little bit loose there. It looked or something. And oh, the 4 comes just barreling through it. Hard contact for himself. A lot of cars caught up in this latest caution here at Daytona International Super Speedway. And we will keep our eye on these drivers up here at the front to see if they catch the pace car or if this is going to put an end to the thing. I think that was our third and final attempt at a green-white checkered. Do not see the pace car out there on track anywhere, so these drivers going to finish out tonight's race under caution. Just waiting for timing and scoring and everything to confirm all of it before we jump the gun. But with these drivers keeping the speed up the way they are, I do not believe they're going to catch up. Oh, and the pace car is out. We are not done just yet. And that is gonna do it for us here at Daytona International Speedway. Your race leader, your race winner, the 99 of Michael Cozy Jr., Bobby Hamilton Jr. slotting in second, and third place goes to David Slidhouse. And we're going to get set up and ready to go for our post-race driver interviews. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. welcome back once again. Thanks for sticking with us and staying for your post-race driver interviews. There you see him on screen, your race winner, the 99 of Michael Cozy Jr. And let's see if we can't get in a quick word with your race winner. Michael, it's David in the booth. You got a copy?
Hello, is this thing on?
Yeah, we got you.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man, what's up with you bringing this thing home there for the that last green-white checkered? How was the race for you? What did you think there at the end?
I didn't do a lot of thinking. That is probably the craziest, greatest win I've ever had in my career. I want to apologize to the people I may or may not have wrecked. One of them wasn't really my fault. I was in a lot of stuff today, so I should not be where I am right now. But I don't even know. I missed some crashes. I got in some crashes. I came from the back to the front a couple times. I don't know what happened. There were some wrecks, and I won. We ran out of green, white checkers. I can't believe it.
Well, man, I mean, I thought I've seen most of what you could see from a restrictor plate race, but you guys upped the bar a little bit further here tonight. At any point in time, did you foresee the green-white checkered being a necessity, or did you think we would end up going through 3 of them?
I kind of had a feeling we'd probably get to 3. I got really lucky. Those cautions off the bat really helped me out a lot. I don't even know what happened. Words cannot describe how stupid my race was and how it should not have come out like this. I crashed. The caution came out. I pit with like 7 to go out of 3rd, which was boneheaded, but I came down to get my reset. So what did I do? I drove back up to the lead, or almost, and then me and somebody else, I think 56, we were going for like the same spot. It was pretty much my fault. We crashed. And I went back to as much damage as I had before I took my reset. And then we restarted, which was like the first green-white checkered. I came up through there, and they wrecked, and I missed it. And that put me up to 3rd. And then the 2 guys pit. I almost lost track of how many stupid little things happened there and there. I'm telling you, the odds were stacked against me. I shouldn't have came out to the lead, but that was incredible.
Well, Michael, man, I've heard somebody say it before. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And, you had the luck, and you were good pretty much all race. You were up there running at the front of the field. 14 laps led for you tonight. But the best part about it all, walking away with the race win. Before we let you head on out of here, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous to anybody out there watching?
Absolutely. Hopefully there's not a time limit on this, but first off, I'd like to thank my primary sponsor, manscaped.com. Use code WIN20. Best tools for your jewels, your balls will thank you. Great stuff. 10 out of 10 I recommend. I'd also like to thank my other sponsor on the car, Indie Racing Images. I don't know if there's time limit to this, but I'm going to go through this real quick. Shout out to all the other sponsors on the car. Couldn't do without them, man. Hunter King, Spencer Preet, Cameron Kane, Diggin, Nastude, Gone, Ben for Days, Steve Goodwin, Casey Wood, Dane, Mark Eckstein, Ed Soundhead, Caleb Florkey, Nick A, Moonhead, Tyler Johnson, G-Man, John Hagan twice. Also, I can't forget my teammate who's sitting right here in front of me, David Schildhouse. I couldn't do without him tonight. I don't know where he finished, but I'm glad we both finished. Donald King, Sith Lord, Elsfield, Josh Murphy, Landon Barb, Justin Askins, that boy NWO, Grayson McKee, Dennis, Caleb, JJ Lawson, BT Gold, Dylan, MN Dude, Nick Cockrell, Rod Flag, Brett Ellison, Jarrett, Alexander, Steven, Austin, Colt, Ansley, who actually brought me into the league tonight. I did not know we were racing until about 3 hours tonight, so I'm happy I made it. Jimbo, Brendan, Hoppy Jock, IWPL West, Rum Bandit, Ross Corlett, Michael Garone, Mama Bear, Corbin, Rogue Leader, Cody H, CJ, Derek Undead, we're almost done, Kavarian Ziegler, Logan Smith, Twerkley, Tanner, Cody Lott, and Cam. Thank you guys for broadcasting. Thanks to Lee for having me.
Man, I hope you have all that written down, because there's no way I can remember to spew all that out, man. Great job on track. Great job with the post-race rundown right there, man. That was pretty amazing.
Thank you very much.
All right, we will catch up with you next week, Michael. There you have it. That was your race winner, man on screen right there in front of you. That 99 of Michael Cozy Jr. Now let's see if we can't get in a word or two with our second place finisher, the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. You got a copy?
Yeah, man.
My man, you drove up through that field on, I believe it was the second green, white checkered, man. It looked like you shot out of a cannon. What's your thoughts looking back on that last restart? Is there anything you could have done differently to maybe steal this win away from Michael Cozy?
Well, I was looking at the different runs. Like I got a run on the 86, and I thought he was coming up, so I had to let him back in line, and just didn't have time. I mean, he was beat, and but that's plate racing. I mean, um, it was kind of one of those you had to be careful all day long because there's a bunch of wrecks here and there, so you had to be there at the end, and we just saved it and saved it and saved it, and by the end of the night, we didn't have no damage, and some of those guys did, so it was kind of easy pickings there for a minute.
And now you mentioned you have to save it and save it and save it. Is that the strategy that you and your crew employed out there? Because for about at least the first half or more, it seemed like you were keeping a little bit of distance, trying to make sure you had time to get out of the way if something happened in front of you. So was that the strategy from the onset of the race for you and that 25 team?
Yeah, the thing of it is, there's a couple new guys in here, and they hadn't practiced with us that much, and and there was a bunch of, you know, wrecks and stuff like that. So right off the bat, you knew you had to just keep a distance to where you can get it woe down, wait for them to wreck, and let it just roll on by. But at the same time, you got to be in position to where when it's 10 or 15 to go, you've got to be able to get up there to them, because if not, you're going to run out of time. So it's it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you're going up there and lead laps all day long, you could survive and win the race and never be challenged. Or it could be like it was today and have a bunch of tore up cars at the end of the race. I think there's only like two of us didn't have damage. So, every time you come to these things, every time you come to the plate races, that's what's going to happen, because everybody's equal. Everybody's cars are the same. Everybody's drafting two or three wide, and it's easy to pass. So, and when you put that in people's hands, I mean, and they'll get wild, they'll get three wide, they'll get two wide, and 10 to go, you're beating and banging, pushing, trying to get all you can get, and it just happens. So, but it's like anything else, man. This is almost like falling off a cliff, like a 10-foot cliff. If you might be able to make it out of here alive, and if you do, great, and if you don't, that's just part of the fall, So we survived it, made up a lot of points today, definitely on David, and a new guy in the series got a win. So that's pretty cool.
It was a great race for me up here in the booth. I tell you what, you guys kept me on my toes all night long, so I appreciate it was great racing, Bobby, out there. But before we let you go and enjoy your second place here tonight, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous to anybody out there watching?
Just, I say it every week. These guys, a good group of guys. They race hard, they play hard. And then the broadcast team, they do an amazing job. Everybody talks about how great this stuff is. To make these leagues go well, you got to have the right people around you. We just got a new guy doing the website. We just got some new people in here that kind of boosting morale because of their energy and stuff. And so the whole group, it's not just one single person, the whole group. And, of course, all the people that, just do this week in and week out with us every week. Those are the winners, every week, and just proud to be in the group.
All right, Bobby, my man. Well, we will look forward to catching up with you next week at the track.
Thank you, man.
There you have it. That was your second place finisher for tonight's race at Daytona International Super Speedway. Race number 9 here at Daytona. And that's going to bring us now. Let's see if we can't get in a few words there. You see him down there with his buddy. Let's hope I can click the right button. And what do you know? I don't do it. Still didn't do it. Oh my goodness. I'm a fire myself. There he is, man on screen, showing as the 7, but that is the 17. And let's see if we can't get in a word or two with David. David, it's David in the booth. You got a copy?
Well, hi there.
Well, hey, David, it's David.
Well, hey, David, it's David.
My man, great race out there for you. Led a handful of laps. 20, I believe, is what you walked away with in the book for tonight. Walking way out of here also in third position. Can't be too upset about that. It's plate racing. If you would, just tell us a little bit about your race and your night.
Yeah, calling it's just plate racing is certainly one way to go about it. It was kind of up and down. Was just trying to play it safe. Obviously, my first race in this league. Want to make a good impression on everybody and start to build some relationships and earn some respect on track. But I was hanging out in the back and got caught up in the first wreck. Had to use my quick repair earlier than I wanted to, but the car was too tore up, and we wouldn't have been able to keep up. So at that point, I just put the sails in the wind and put her out front, and that's when I was leading all those laps. Because at that point, you don't have a safety net, but you got to go for it. Less likely to be involved in the wreck if you're leading than in the back. So we got shuffled around, but in the end, put ourselves in the right position and survived some of the wrecks, picked up some damage, but hung with our unofficial teammate, Michael Cozy Jr., and tried to help each other get to this point. So I would say it worked out pretty well.
Indeed it did. I mean, walking away with a third place finish, I mean, up against some stiff competition, great racing side by side, door to door all night long, and a little bit torn up on the front end of that Camry, but you still finished the race, and that's what matters. As I said, congratulations, my man, walking out of here with a third place. Before we let you head off into the sunset and get ready for next week's race, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous to anybody out there watching?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Happy with the third place. Absolutely thrilled with that. Want to give a big thanks to Marshall Newton and MN Designs for the paint scheme. The hashtag racing, not racism Toyota Camry was excellent tonight, and really do love driving this paint scheme around. I'm sure it gets a laugh out of people who know what it's all about. Big thanks to everybody on Twitch, twitch.tv/Schildhouse. It was a great stream tonight. We had so much fun, very entertaining stuff. The viewers loved the racing action, the TeamSpeak action. Everybody loved it. I want to give a big shout out to everybody who supports me over here on Twitch, all the followers and my subs, Dark and Sphinx, AOD, Caleb Hoffman as well, Caleb Nelson, Colt, Ansley, Corey, Dakota, Dougie Fresh, Jeff the Ref, Josh Murphy, Derek Justice, Marshall Newton, Moonhead, Mr. F4 Speed, Pioneers, Rich Jameson, Spencer Preet, Tyler Diggin, Tyler Gary, Ashton Schleiss, Michael Cozy Jr., and Zigzag. Thank you guys very much for all of your support. We'll look forward to seeing you guys next week at the Monster Mile.
Yes, sir. We will catch up with you at Dover. Well, there you have it. That was your third place finisher for tonight's race. That was David Slidgehouse. And man, I tell you what, it's yeah, I mean, that's all she wrote. There's nothing really left for us to do up here in the broadcast booth except give you your race run down. First position race winner, the 99 of Michael Cozy Jr., second the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. The 17 of David Slidhouse comes home in third, and in fourth, the 86 of Colt Ansley. Fifth position, the 52 of Thomas McMullen, while in sixth, the 08 of Brian Fallon. Seventh position goes to the 19 of Chris Mathis, and in eighth, the 53 of Steve Murdoch. Ninth position, the 7 of Hunter Kent, and rounding out the top 10 here tonight from Daytona International Superspeedway, the 40 of Jeff Napier. 11th position goes to the 4 of Kaysen Plott, and the 71 of Alan Dufries comes home in 12th. 13th position to the 46 of David Bradford. 14th goes to the 54 of Justin Napier, while Channing Ballou found himself in the 15th spot, being scored 2 laps down. Early leader in the race, the 16th position goes to the 8 car of Quentin Murdoch, finishing 6 laps behind. 17th spot goes to the 5 of Mark Truxell, while the 56 of Will Jones slots home in 18th. rounding out the field here for tonight's race, the 16 of Brandon Radsley. And I mean, that's it. It's all over. Looks like Brendan didn't really get out on track for very many laps. 73 laps down on the evening for him. And that is going to put yet another race in the book for Superior Class Auto Racing, presented to you by Mug Root Beer here on Turn 3 Racing Network. We're going to wind up all the cords, all the wires, and head off towards we're at Daytona, and head off towards Dover International Speedway, the Monster Mile concrete track. It is an absolute beast unto itself. We'll have to wait and see what driver can tame that track and walk away with a race win. Will it be a previous winner? Will we get another first-time winner here in Superior Class Auto Racing? We'll have to wait and see next week. Until then, thanks for joining. We'll see you at the track.